Hello guys, I'm back with another video. Today we're doing this really cute hairstyle with butterfly clips and rubber bands. And let me just start by wetting her hair. So I'm just using a spray bottle with just plain water in it. There's no products in it just because I like the bottle, so I just use it for that. And with a white tooth comb, I'm just going to brush her hair and detangle everything. As you can see, she already had a parting done from the hairstyle she had yesterday at nursery. And I'm just starting from the root, going towards the ends. And as you can see, her hair is pretty dry, so I'm gonna have to spray some more. If you see that the ends are looking like this, you definitely need to spray more water, because if you don't, then your hair is going to be dry and it may snap or break, and it's just best overall if it's wet. And then I'm going in with this leave-in conditioner from Creme of Nature. I really love this one because it really moisturizes the hair, and even if I apply water after it dries, it's still in the hair, so it's still nice and moisturized. So I'm detangling the ends and I'm trying to be gentle. And as you can see, you're already starting to look better. You can see the curls coming through, and it's not as dry and dull. And now I'm just going to make sure I'm going to do this side very well, and then I'm going to move on the next side just in a minute. Alright, so I need more spray in it, so you can put as much as you want, and I try to kind of massage it in with my hand to make sure it's going in and it's not just dripping off the hair, because sometimes, depends on the hair porosity, if you just spray it on the hair, it literally just drops off the hair strand. So that's why I try to massage it a little bit in, so I make sure it's all nice and damp and wet, and then it just makes the job much easier, especially because it's leave-in conditioner. It's not just water. It makes the whole process of detangling much better, and it's much smoother, and it doesn't hurt as much for her as well, less painful. Alright, so this is what it should look like at the end, and I'm just playing with her hair now because it's really soft. And moving on to the next side, I'm just going to speed this up because I've already explained the first bit, and you can just watch what I'm doing now. Just focusing on the ends and making sure all the knots are coming out, and then her hair is all nice and detangled, so we can move on to the next step, which is going to be parting the hair and putting the rubber bands in. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, so I'm spraying a bit more water at the front just to make it easier for me to part the hair, and then I'm going to make sure my middle section is done first. And just like this, with a rat tail comb, I am splitting the hair into two sections. I don't need to worry about the back because we are going to put it up, so you don't need to section the back. You can just stop halfway in the middle of the head, so the crown, that's what it's called. And yeah, just making sure everything is nice and detangled. And then I'm going to start by sectioning the front piece of hair. I'm just going to draw a straight line down to maybe like the end of an eyebrow, maybe like a triangle, or you can even do like squares, whatever pattern you want. I just thought, let me just try this one since I'm only gonna do a few hairbands and I'm not gonna do so many. And then just trying to get it straight. Here, it's best if you do put some gel on it, but since she's not gonna go anywhere and we're just doing it for the sake of the video, I didn't want to put too much product in her hair because she only washed it the day before. And then going to take a hairband and I'm going to tie it and make sure no other hairs are in. Sorry, 1 second. Come on, baby. Yeah, I'm doing this voiceover in the middle of the day, so obviously my kids are here with me. Yes, so just sectioning and making sure there's no other hair tied with the section I've already done. Just like that. Alright, so I finished this section, and then I'm going to keep going, making sections all throughout the hair, excluding the back, because we don't need to section the back since we are going to put it up, and also the sides are going to be braided. Now, when you braid small sections of hair, especially with straight hair, it's going to stick down and stay straight, but with curly hair, it's going to have a little spring in it. So we're going to have to put beads. I'm going to show you in just a minute. So when you tie off your section, you need to make sure that the hairband is as close to the base of the hair as possible, because you want to have a really clean section and you don't want to have any flyaways or any other strands just getting caught up in the hairband from the other part of the hair. So as you can see, this is what I mean by the hair getting caught up in your hairband. As you can see, there's a few strands just getting in the way, so I had to pull them back. And make sure, as I said, you don't tie your hairband on them pieces of the strands of hair, because if it's too tight or if it pulls too hard, it's obviously going to be very uncomfortable for her, or it can even do a bit of damage. Since it's pulling the hair so tightly out the scalp, it can make the scalp uneven, but that's on rare cases if it's like very extreme. So now I'm just braiding the hair. You can put some gel on it, some stronghold gel, if you want to make your hairstyle last longer, but in this case I didn't. I just put the leave-in conditioner that she already had in with the water spray, because we was only doing the hairstyle just for the sake of this video. But usually I do put a gel on it just because it makes the braiding process much easier. It makes it look neater and there's less flyaways coming out of the braid or split ends, but I don't think she has any split ends at the minute. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to put the braids on. I've got a little technique. Usually you're supposed to use a tool for beads, like a hair accessory beading tool, but I don't have that. I used to have one, I just broke it, so I've just kind of came up with my own technique. I just put it on a piece of string or hairband. I use a hairband, a pretty thin one, and I'm just sliding the bits through. I think it's going to come up in a minute. A tip for when you're working in small sections is you want to make sure the hair is damp, or at least it's got some type of water in it. If it's too dry, then your braids or your sections might look messy, and it also might pull on some hairs, since it's not going to be as neat. So if you just need to, you just spray a bit more water on it, or leave-in or whatever else you got. Water is best, and then you can follow up with a leave-in conditioner. If you use just leave-in conditioner, it's going to take obviously some time for the hair to actually get wet enough, so you might just oversaturate the hair with product. Obviously product build up, and it's just gonna be either heavy or it's just gonna do the opposite of what you're trying to do. So yes, best if you use water first, get the hair damp, and then just a bit of leave-in conditioner just to keep that moisture in the hair. And as you can see, I have done all my sections. I haven't done the back, as I was mentioning, because that bit is going to go up. And now I'm going to wet the hair even more, because I want to split my hair into sections. No, I want to split my sections into sections, but in two, because I'm going to do a little twist up moment sort of thing, where I just crisscross the two sections. I'm confusing you, aren't I? I'm confusing you quite a bit. Yeah, where I just, as you can see, I'm twisting the hair, and I'm going to crisscross it with the opposite side of the hair, if that makes sense. And as I said, I do not have a full-on plan. I was kind of making up my own design, my own pattern here. So I was just figuring out where I want the pieces to go, and I was thinking what looks good and what doesn't. So I'm just going to let you watch this, and then you can see what I've ended up with, and obviously you can either change it and make up your own and whatever you like. Okay, so I am putting all the hair up now, and I am brushing the back, also wetting the back a little bit because while I was doing my sections the hair at the bottom has dried up. And for this you can either use just a normal hairbrush or a slick brush. In this case I use just a normal hairbrush, or I think it was a tail comb actually. Yeah, it is a tail comb, but you can use whatever you want. It just helps if it's a slick brush because it just makes it more neat and it makes it look more tidy and as if it's gelled up sort of. Alright, so I'm going to put my hairband on and I'm going to just make a little bun because her hair is quite long now. It doesn't really puff up as much as I want it to, so I'm just going to make a little bun moment where I just tie it once and then I just kind of tie the ends off within it. See, so it was falling down sort of, it doesn't really stay up, so this is where I'm going to just make the hair into a bowl, so like a puff, and then I'm just going to put in my butterflies. And I know you're thinking, Laura, what are those braids you've just done? Yes, they look funny, but that is because they haven't got anything at the bottom for them to get weighed down. So if you just leave it like this, obviously it's gonna look quite silly because they just stick out. But if you use beads, it's gonna weigh it down and it's gonna make it sit much better, like straight, sort of pointing down instead of it just flying out like this on the sides. My beads are getting smaller because the hair is growing and the hair is getting much denser, so the hair strands don't fit, well, the braids don't fit through the bead anymore. So I'm just looking for beads at the moment that will look nice and also fit her braids when I do them. Okay, so I'm just doing her edges right now, and I'm using the Eco Styler gel. I think this is the olive oil one, and I find that it's actually really nice for her hair because it doesn't have a really strong hold, but I don't want it to be a very strong hold, because I feel like when you try to do her edges, if you don't get the swoop right from the first time, it's not going to work anymore. With a strong hold, you have to get it right from the first time, because obviously it kind of like gets set very fast and it doesn't budge anymore. But with this one, you can just work it and redo it and do as many times as you want, and it's still going to hold it, but you can still work with it. And yes, I did not have a very good edge day today. I don't know what was going on. They don't look as on point as I like them to. And I'm just gonna do the other side. I've done like a little swoop as well. It was not my best swoop, but it still looks quite cute. Now, it would have been a really good idea if I just gelled up most of her edges with the sections, so just get most of the hair inside the hairband if I could have, because as you can see, I'm working with quite a lot of baby hairs, and most of it could have fit in the hairband, but it just can't go in there right now because I haven't done that. But if you was to gel up your edges from the start with the section, it would have looked much neater, and obviously you wouldn't have to work with so many baby hairs to try and pull off some edges. So this is these are my beads. I got them off Amazon. I believe they're for crafts and just bracelets and stuff like that, so they're not specially made for hair. But because she was younger and she had less hair, these used to fit back then, but they don't fit as great right now. Obviously it fits for this braid because this is quite thin, but if I was to do just any thicker than this, they would not fit. So I need to look for a different type of beads, and when I do, I'm gonna make another video showing you the beads that I've got, link everything where I've got it from. And yes, this is the sort of method I was talking about, where I put my beads through like a really thin hairband or like a string, and then just attach it, and then with this rubber band I just get the last bead and I just wrap it around like this, and then the rest of the beads just slide down. Now I should have braided my hair all the way down, but I just left it as it was, and this is the end result. I hope you like it, and I will see you in another video with more great hairstyles. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.